Millions of people travel to Las Vegas each year to spend their time and money on the Las Vegas Strip. But if you're a Las Vegas local, you know that there's more to see and do. I'm Danny Beckstrom, and welcome to How to Vegas, your weekly guide to Las Vegas and Southern Nevada. In the next 30 minutes, I'll tell you about the best places and things that locals can enjoy, including food, drinks, art, and much more. Let's get started. Did you know the exact spot where first settlers arrived in Las Vegas is still here and you can visit it? In this week's Vegas Like a Local, our Jason Denant will show you around some of downtown's best unknown spots to snag local discounts, deals, and more.
Want to walk back through time in Las Vegas, from the days of the first settlers to the heyday of the neon sign? I'm Jason Denant with 13 Action News. Follow me and let's do all that and more as we Vegas like a local with insider tips, spots you may have never checked out, and local deals. First stop, let's swing by City Hall and see what Mayor Carolyn Goodman says are some of her favorite downtown spots.
There's so much. We've got the Mob Museum, we've got the Neon Museum, the Natural History Museum, Discovery Museum for Children. We have the Smith Center. We have shopping. We have the best outdoor shopping mall discount, I think, anywhere in the world. We have Brewery Road if you're a beer guzzler. And I've had a few beers down there. I mean, I could go on all day. This is the best place downtown, shoulder to shoulder action. So many places to eat, great food, and everybody having a good time.
Thanks, Mayor Goodman. Now that you've given me some of your favorites in downtown, let's go explore. Walk through the gates of history and step inside the birthplace of Las Vegas. Old Las Vegas Mormon Fort State Park in downtown will transport you back in time to 1855, when a spring-fed creek flowed through the valley, and the city's first settlers came and built the fort, which was the first permanent structure in the area. The Mormon settlers left after just 2 years, and it wasn't until 10 years later, in 1865, that Octavius D. Gass bought the fort and turned it into a large-scale ranch that included a store and blacksmith shop. The fort changed hands several times in its history and eventually sold to the railroad companies in 1902, and Las Vegas was officially born in 1905. There is plenty to see and explore at this park, including original pieces of the fort wall, recreations of what a room looked like back then, and even a recreation of the meadow and creek that flowed during that time. With an entrance fee of only $3 per person, this adventure is affordable for the entire family. Just a block away on Las Vegas Boulevard, another spot that will leave locals and tourists daydreaming of days gone by is the Neon Museum and Boneyard. Showcasing some of the most iconic neon signs from the city's past, and the museum building itself is housed in the iconic and famous La Concha Motel Lobby building. The Neon Boneyard collection of old signs is overflowing with Sin City history, including the Stardust, Hard Rock Cafe, Sahara, and more. Aaron Berger with the museum says there's one sign in particular that visitors should definitely check out.
Actually, we're standing in front of my favorite sign at the Boneyard. It is the Yucca sign from the Yucca Motel. This is a fantastic example of actual craftsmanship within the signage. So you're looking at, in the lettering itself, first of all, that's actually argon, not neon, so we can do some science trivia on you here too. But they're actually hand-blown and hand-shaped to create those letters. And then at the top, you've got that great agave yucca flower at the top that's that white. At night, it glows and you can see for miles around.
Day or night, you will definitely get lost wandering through the museum and Boneyard. Be prepared to stop and take many photos. Show your Nevada ID at the entrance for special locals discounts, $4 off each ticket. The mayor said you must check out the Discovery Children's Museum at Symphony Park, so let's go. If you have kids yourself or kids in your family, this is a must-see place for you. As soon as you enter the doors, you can tell this is going to be a pretty cool place. From Water World, where children can learn about all things related to water, including water flow and the Hoover Dam, to interactive displays to test your strength. Okay, that was definitely heavy. There are many areas to play, explore, and build, including the Discovery Lab, and the museum offers daily Discovery experiences. Locals discounted tickets cost $12.50, and the museum has several low-cost options, including a Museums for All pass for only $3 for families with a valid EBT, SNAP, or WIC card. I could stay here all day, but it's time for the next stop. If you're looking for an over-the-top experience in downtown, you have to take a ride on Slotzilla, the zip line under the Fremont Street Experience Canopy. They don't currently have a locals discount. However, if you have friends coming to town, this is one of those things you will feel okay about splurging on and making some amazing memories. Next time you are looking for something cool to do, head on downtown and enjoy our city. And never be afraid to whip out your Nevada ID and ask, hey, do you offer a locals discount? And like the mayor says,
It's nirvana. Sleep all day, come down here with a good appetite and ready to just have a great time.
until next time, I'm Jason Danant for 13 Action News.
When Blue Man Group hit theaters for the first time, there was nothing on earth like it. Now, one of its co-founders has created a new world to explore, a multimedia experience that you don't just sit and watch, but rather step into. 13 Action News reporter Amy Abdelsayed has a look at how Chris Wink is applying what he learned from his Blue Man days and collaborating with other talented artists to create Wink World at Area 15.
Question, do you think this shirt's a little boring?
For the record, I thought he looked just fine.
Yeah.
But nothing about Chris Wink is boring, and that includes his shirts. Chris is one of the founders of Blue Man Group. If you've ever seen the show, maybe it should come to no surprise that he has slinkies and black lights in his bathroom, where he was sitting for our interview.
It's just a big bathroom that is also an infinity mirror.
It's this New York bathroom that inspired Wink World, Portals to the Infinite, at Area 15 in Las Vegas.
I learned a lot at Blue Man about staging, lighting, design, and I just started playing again, just like a kid.
Wink World is a trip. Both it and Blue Man Group are immersive experiences.
I think that the space was the fourth Blue Man. You know, it was really like a world that you went into, and the world kept changing.
But unlike theater, Wink World is a physical world you walk into.
It's an exhibit, or maybe it's even more akin to like a carnival funhouse that you're moving through.
There are infinity mirrors and lots of moving pieces.
I like to repurpose everyday objects, just slinkies, little kid toys that you get inside, like a vending machine, some cutlery that is neon, and then I started playing with black lights.
All of it not only intentional, but there to tell a larger story.
Balls that expand and contract over the spheres that we have, by having them have the sound of the breath, you know, going like. The combination makes them leap into something where you almost accept them as being alive.
In many ways, Chris says life is his inspiration.
What I'm interested in is when the movements evoke the living, you know, not just the human, but the natural world. And I want my work to always be celebrating the beauty of nature, even though there isn't really any nature in the work at all. You know, I don't have any trees, but the fractal patterns, the colors, I think kind of subliminally, my biggest inspiration is nature.
As a multimedia artist, he incorporates so many types of art into his work, including music, both original and remix.
Take the loving tone, it will lead you back home. Take the loving.
Lucy Weld is a singer and songwriter. Her song Loving Tone is featured in Wink World.
And if your home is the road, just know that blessings will unfold on you.
Special song. It's the only song that has like real lyrics to it. The other songs are more instrumental.
And it works both ways. She just released a music video set entirely at Wink World.
These are such uncertain times, but everything will be just fine.
I think that the two together create something that is very different than when you would have it if they were just separate.
Chris also partnered with his friend and artist Alex Aliume for a gallery people can enjoy while they wait in line.
We've got the 3D glasses that you can put on, and it's really kind of sets the tone of his work's a little more, maybe a little more spiritual, and mine's a little more whimsical. I thought that'd be a nice combination.
And it is a good combination, maybe because spiritual seems to align with its overall purpose.
It's corny, but the real thing I'd love people to walk away with is it's freaking great to be alive. And there's so much to be thankful for, even though there's a lot going on that's heavy.
Lucy's lyrics reverberating the message he hopes people leave with when they leave Wink World.
The sun still rises, the moon stays shining. You will be fine. You are divine.
You can learn more about Wink World and watch Lucy's full music video on ktnv.com. Reporting for 13 Action News, I'm Amy Abdel Sayed.
Take the loving tone.
Tickets to enter Wink World Portals to the Infinite range from $18 to $25, depending on when you go. As always, we have more details on ktnv.com. We'll be back with more of How to Vegas after the break. Welcome back to How to Vegas, your weekly look at what there is to see, do, and taste in Las Vegas. For more things to do around the valley, visit ktnv.com/things to do. Many of us call Henderson home, but did you know it's also home to an artisan booze district? Local business owners have joined forces to bring people together over a few cocktails and brews. 13 Action News reporter Jordan Gartner shows you there's a lot more brewing in Henderson than meets the eye.
Many of us head to the east side of town in Henderson to maybe look for a new car at the Valley Auto Mall. But there's a hidden gem that shouldn't be overlooked, and that's the nearby Booze District. Local business owners have brought their own flair and community vibe to the industrial area, where you'll find unique breweries, a distillery, and a winery.
So Craft House Brewery is in Henderson, and we are residents here, and we love Henderson, so we wanted to make delicious craft beer for our community.
Co-owner and founder of Craft House, Wendy Forrest, says the Las Vegas distillery was the first to start making booze in the district.
The originator of the Booze District and the brainchild behind it was George, and he was the owner of the Las Vegas distillery. He's passed on, but we're still continuing his legacy, and his wife is still running the Las Vegas distillery. He had a dream to have artisan alcohol makers here located in all one central location.
Forrest lobbied the city of Henderson to change its laws that pricey taverns had to have gaming and wanted a different feel for the district.
We planted down roots here. It took us a little bit of time to change the licensing and the zoning to allow us to have this business model. But we worked with the city for about 18 months, wrote new licensing that was more craft beer friendly, and then the Booze District sprang up.
Craft House has been open for nearly 7 years and offers a variety of brews and also a community connection that can be felt even before the first pour.
We build camaraderie and community with all of our neighbors, and even people who are visiting out of town. They quickly become our friends and our family, and we do all of that around quality-driven beer.
And those beer options range from a seasonal Czech Pilsner to their year-round favorites like Resonate IPA and their Silver State Blonde Ale.
Our top seller is always Silver State Blonde. It has the beautiful Sunrise Mountains on the can. It can please palates all across the board. And if you're visiting for the first time, I always recommend trying a tasting flight so you can have 4 taster samples in as many as you'd like, and that way you can try the whole portfolio, and then you can know what to order as a pint after that.
Just across the way, you'll find Bad Beat Brewing with its new head brewer, Amanda Keller.
Had the great opportunity to come over to Bad Beat and actually take over their operation here. And it's just been a dream of mine to help run a brewery, and we're making great beer here.
Bad Beat was the first brewery to call the Booze District home and has continued to be a local favorite for beers such as the Ringer, a German Pilsner, 2 Hoppy Times, a West Coast IPA.
One of my favorite is the Ringer. It's a Pilsner. It's clean, crisp, German-style Pilsner. And then one of my other favorites is Hoppy Times, and it's our IPA, and it has my favorite hop, Chinook, in it, and it has some pine characteristics and a lot of citrus characteristics. I love it.
And the newest brewery to call the district home is Astronomy Ale Works.
The third brewery in the booze district, the fifth place to open up. 10-barrel brew house, same size as Craft House. Bad Beat opened with the 10-barrel brewery, and they have upgraded to a 15-barrel brewery. So we just expanded our fermentation to now we can ferment 80 barrels of beer at a time.
Brewer and founder Matt Brady says he is always up for cooking up something different, but beer fans can enjoy a solid variety from a golden ale to the return of the Citra Amber Pale Ale.
Our two biggest sellers right now are the Golden Ale, which is a blonde ale. We put that all across the valley in cans and in tap. And the return of the Citra Rye IPA. It's a rye IPA, West Coast style, 6.7% alcohol. Very strong, very good.
Guests can enjoy all of Brady's beers while taking a trip to outer space in the Ale House tasting room. The booze district in Henderson is less than a decade old, but its influence is felt throughout the valley. Several new breweries have called Las Vegas home just in the past few years, including Craft House expanding to the Arts District. Henderson's booze district may be a little hard to find, but once you do, you'll definitely return for a second round. Reporting, Jordan Gartner, 13 Action News.
Sin City has turned into a haven for foodies in recent years. OffTheStrip.com editor Melinda Shekels is back to dish out the latest restaurant news from around the valley.
Hi, this is Melinda Shekels, and this is Vegas Eats on KTNV Channel 13. And this is all the news about dining and drinking in Las Vegas. All the best bites, the best reservations, and the latest happenings around town. This week, the big announcement was Super Frico by Spiegelworld is coming to the Cosmopolitan of Las Vegas. Super Frico will open on September 24th, and you might be asking, what exactly is a Super Frico? Well, it is the new fully integrated dinner and show concept from the creators of Absinthe, Atomic Saloon, and the Cosmopolitan's Opium. So it will be right in the former Rose Rabbit Lie space, which is next to the Opium Theater. And Super Frico will entertain guests with Italian-American psychedelic cuisine. This is a new type of cuisine that Spiegelworld has invented, and they will be featuring international pizza czar Anthony Falco in the kitchen. So it will be, think of it as a disco pizza party, is how Ross Mollison, the creator of Spiegelworld, explained it to me this week. A disco pizza party like you've never seen before. Super Frico will also then give guests the opportunity to visit the Opium Theater to see the Opium Show by Spiegelworld. And all around, it will have an incredible cocktail program from Leo Robachek of 11 Madison Park and many other incredible culinary creators from around Las Vegas and around the world. So check out Super Frico when it opens at the Cosmopolitan on September 24th. Over on Blue Diamond, two restaurants there, Locale and Luchador, are offering family meals. Very, very great price on these family meals. So for $55 at Locale, which is a local Italian restaurant, really incredible fresh food, you can get a family style Caesar salad for $4. You can get garlic and mozzarella bread, as well as traditional spaghetti and meatballs or rigatoni bolognese. And with that, you get wine as well, and that's $55 for 4 people. Over at Luchador, which is a Mexican restaurant on Blue Diamond, you can get a taco kit with all the fixins. Also for a family of 4, it has 12 tacos in there, chips and salsa and other accoutrements, and you can get that for $50 at Luchador, and they are both to take away. Now, if you need a little tequila to complement your tacos, ReserveBar.com is running a special on Casa Dragones tequila. So if you buy 2 bottles of Casa Dragones Blanco, you get one of their signature ice trays. Now, the ice trays are so you can make those fancy ice cubes at home that they make in all of the cool bars, and the large, really funky ice cubes that make everything taste phenomenal. And if you don't want to do it all at home, you can go enjoy some Casa Dragones out there in the world. Check out Wally's. They are doing a proper Paloma with Casa Dragones, and that's located inside of Resorts World. And then you can also go over to Nobu, and they're doing a Sakura Paloma. And also their Market Margarita at Caesar's Palace has Casa Dragones, and Javier's Cantina inside of Aria has their Marcos Margarita made with Casa Dragones. This is Melinda Shekels for Vegas Eats on KTNV. Check back next week for more dining news.
We'll be back with more of How to Vegas after the break. Welcome back to How to Vegas, your weekly look at what there is to see, do, and taste in Las Vegas. For more things to do around the valley, visit ktnv.com/things to do. He's been referred to as the greatest living comedic magician of all time, and he's right here in Las Vegas. This week's Vegas Spotlight features Matt King, who has been performing in Las Vegas for 22 years.
Howdy, I'm Matt King. I'm star of the Matt King Comedy Magic Show here at Excalibur in the Thunderland showroom in the afternoon. That means I don't take my clothes off. I started here in the late 1990s, and I've been here in town with my own show since 1998. It's crazy.
And we absolutely love you, Matt King, as a friend and as the greatest comedy magician, at least alive today, maybe who ever lived.
It's hard to say what children like. I'm very proud, though, that my show does seem to appeal to 8-year-olds as well as 88-year-olds, and even more difficult, 18-year-olds seem to like it too. There's a lot of innuendo. I mean, it's not a kid's show. It's designed for adults, but families really like it. It's like watching The Simpsons, really. I feel like, you know, there's a lot of stuff that goes over kids' heads that adults really get. My favorite trick, man, I don't know. It's hard to say. It's like picking your favorite kid. You know, I mean, they're all, you know, I've lived with them all my life, you know, worked on them and nurtured them and tried to bring them to life for people. I don't know, kind of the latest one. Whatever I'm working on at the latest is my favorite. You know, it's funny. There's like 2 or 3 audience favorites. Cloak of Invisibility, very popular, where I rendered myself invisible with a yellow raincoat. Catching live goldfish out of the air. A couple of times I have, you know, taken one of those tricks out. I get a lot of repeat customers, I'm really proud to say. And, you know, when any of those 3 tricks are not in the show, I hear about it later. A lot of people say that there are no cures for the hiccups, but I have invented the Matt King hiccup cure too. This really works. Get a big grocery bag and you put it over your head. Don't turn this off. Put the bag over your head and then you spin around till you're really dizzy. Oh yeah, your hiccups are gone. The only real advice I have for somebody who would like to be a comedy magician is to skip it and go to law school. And I performed at the White House, I performed at the London Palladium, I performed on the Letterman Show on that NBC stage. You know, I would love to have my own Broadway show, but I don't feel like that's happening anytime soon. Shows are here in the afternoons at Excalibur, and tickets, you can go to the excalibur.com and click on shows. I think that's how it works. You can certainly go to mattkingshow.com and click on get tickets there. And I hope I'll see you at the show at some point.
Thanks for watching How to Vegas. If you missed any part of this week's program, just hit the back button on your remote and scroll down until you see KTNV Digital Exclusives. There you'll find this show and all of our dedicated streaming content. Stay tuned for more from 13 Action News after the break, and check us out anytime here on KTNV Streaming. Las Vegas news on your time.